Hello everyone. Today we have with us the All India first ranker, Mr. Abuzar Gaffari, with the civil engineering specialization of engineering services 2019. So he has got a very good background, not only academic background, but experience in some corporate before this selection. So we'll raise few interesting questions which may definitely help majority of our future aspirants. Hi, Rafal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. So to begin with, just introduce yourself.
I'm Abuzar Gaffari. I have secured All India Rank 1 in Civil Engineering in this year's Engineering Services Examination 2019. I come from Indore, Madhya Pradesh, and I did my BTech in Civil Engineering from IIT Kanpur, passed out in 2016. Post that, I have worked 1 year in a real estate corporate startup in Bangalore as an operations manager. After that, I decided to prepare for engineering services, and my first attempt was I appeared in 2018 engineering services examination. In that year, I passed and successfully got an AR 61, and I decided to write the exam once again. And this year, I had secured All India Rank 1. So this is my brief background.
Okay, great. So can you tell something about your family background, Mr.?
So I come from a typical middle class family, which is that normal composition in India. So my father is self-employed and he runs a shop in the hometown itself, and my mother is a homemaker. Apart from that, there is an elder brother who is a teacher and a younger brother who is in school. And I draw my inspiration from my father himself, who has worked tremendously hard and invested all of his money in my education. So that's the fruit that I'm seeing right now, and I most of the credit I give to Almighty and to my parents.
Okay, I hope you'll pay back to your parents.
Yes.
Of course, not in terms of money,
Right.
but in terms of happiness.
Yes.
See, for parents, it is not the money, it is the success of their children that gives real happiness. Yes, you have proved yourself. Very good, Mr. Abuzar
Thank you, sir.
Gaffari. Okay, so what about your graduation? Suppose you have done your graduation from IIT Kanpur.
Yes, sir.
So how you used to spend your time? I say daily routine in the IIT Kanpur.
So IITs are a really interesting institute. Apart from the education, they really offer some great opportunities in terms of sports, in some of extracurricular activities. So I was really interested in dramatics at that time. So I used to perform stage and street plays there,
Okay.
and I was also holding a position of responsibility in my second year as hall representative, basically hostel representative. So I was
Excellent.
looking after the entire mess.
Mm.
So apart from the education, these responsibilities which I was taking care of, and my interest towards the dramatics, so that really helped me shape my character. So I used to learn how to manage the time, how to invest sufficient time in studies, and apart from that, I'm really enthusiastic about sports, especially tennis. So it was a mesh of so many opportunities which shaped me what I am today.
So academics, extracurricular,
Yes, sir.
leadership also.
Yes.
So everything, definitely they might have helped you a lot in the personal interview of UPSC also.
Yes, sir, they did. Actually, many students, what happens is when they go in the personality test, they become scared, or there is a fear that what else if something goes wrong. But what I felt is, apart when I invested time in so many, I also had the opportunity to go on stage and speak on various issues in the college and also in my school time. So that really helped me overcome that fear, and I was confident of what I'm saying, and that also helped me that I always used to say truth, and I don't deceive anything while in an interview. It's very important to be yourself in the interview. So that really helped me in the personality test of UPSC.
Okay, I want to ask one silly question. Say recently, some of our students are coming and asking, sir, nowadays it seems only the students who are pursuing their degrees from IITs are only successful in these IAS, top ranks, etc. Then what about our fate? Do you think that who study in ordinary rural colleges cannot perform?
No, sir. I think they can perform. So what I feel is, it's true that we are seeing a lot of toppers from IITs and NITs, but I have seen some of my acquaintances, some of my friends who have passed out from some normal engineering colleges, and they have secured some very good ranks. So the main thing is we are seeing many IITians who are topping, but there are also a lot of IITians who are not succeeding. So we are just seeing a small proportion of people.
Yeah, yeah.
And what I really feel is if you see the examination after the graduate level, any examination which relates to job, these examinations are more about hard work and perseverance. It's not
Correct.
about your intellectual connect.
Correct.
If you are preparing, suppose if we fail in first attempt, then in second or third attempt, if we work hard, if we choose the right approach, then definitely we'll be successful. It's not a JEE exam which tests your extreme intellect. It's about more about hard work.
Hard work.
How you have covered the syllabus, how in depth you have. Because we see many questions repeat in UPSC. There's always, it's not true that there is always a new question. So we don't need to worry about whether you're much intelligent or not. The main thing that matters is your dedication, your hard work, and your constant eye towards your aim, basically.
You yourself is the example. In first attempt, you got 61
Yes,
rank.
sir. So in
Now you
first
got all India first rank.
Correct, that is true.
So you have to work. Of course, smart work.
Right, smart work, correct approach.
Dedicatedly.
Yes.
Okay.
So that what I feel is for all the aspirants, there is no need to lose hope. This exam you can easily crack. You can beat those IIT people. It's about hard work, as I already told you. So I have seen the examples myself, and I'm very confident that it is true.
Okay. So now coming to your prelims exam. Suppose recent prelims exam. So how many marks you got in general studies and technical paper, civil engineering?
So this year in 2019, I got 118 in general studies.
Excellent.
And 168 in technical.
Check.
I just want to shed some light. In my first attempt in general studies, I got only 92.
90.
So I improved on that. There was some strategies that I followed which helped me improve my marks.
So what is that strategy to improve marks in general studies?
So last time I made some mistakes in GS. If you see GS paper, it's little bit random. Some random questions come. Of course, there's some content which has been developed by the coaching institutes, ACE also, and other institutes. So we can go through that. But apart from that, what really is required for cracking general studies is giving a lot of test papers. So there is a simple analogy that I want to relate. Suppose you are going to face a very dangerous bowler on the cricket ground. Then before that, you have to practice on pitch. If you directly go on the ground, then you on the pitch, actual pitch, then you will fail. So similarly is with GS. You have to practice those type of questions in test series. There is an approach which is called as elimination strategy. Because all the questions you cannot answer correctly. Somewhere we have doubts in 2 or 3. So we have to practice that art of elimination in the test itself. So my advice to aspirants is give as many tests as possible. And one thing which I want to say is attempt at least 85 plus. Because
85 plus out of 100.
Out of 100. Because this is simple maths. If you attempt 50, that means you're targeting 100 marks. You cannot get 100 marks. Exactly. If you're targeting 170, at least some will go wrong, some will go right. Then you can touch 110. I think anything above 105, 110 is a very good score in GS. So that's my strategy. Plus, if we see that subject wise, in GS we can divide some subjects. Like if we look at ethics, then it's based on understanding. We can learn the terms like there are various terms in ethics which we have to go through, right? So we can learn those and we can have an understanding and we can solve the questions. But if we look at material science, then we have to cram certain things, or there are some formulas in quality. So we have to divide like that. Some which requires three times revision. There's one like maths which you can practice and solve. So we have to look at the papers of past 3 years and the test series and then decide how to go about it.
Okay. So in the technical, you said you got around 168 marks out of 300. So in which subjects you suggest students to be more perfect, or you would say that give weightage to every subject?
So there is always a time crunch in this examination.
Okay.
Because especially in pre. In mains, I believe there is sufficient time. So what happens in pre is usually if we look at the topics which I personally feel like RCC, steel, building materials, earthquake, there are some random questions. Even if we read, then we won't be able to solve all those. Because these are theoretical based. So my advice to aspirants is to be perfect in some conventional topics like SOM, structure analysis, environment, and then fluid mechanics, irrigation, hydrology. Be very perfect in this, because most of the time there will be numericals. What I felt from the last 2 years paper. And if we see RCC, earthquake, building material, there are some random subjective questions which are difficult to answer. Difficult to answer for anybody. Because suddenly some new concept they will get. And I just want to share one experience from last 2 attempts. So in first attempt, what happens is, if you have a look at the paper very carefully, they give questions in a set of 30-30. They will change the set, like 30 questions and then 30. So what I did in 2018 is, what mistake I did is I started solving from the beginning, which were building materials and RCC. So I wasted a lot of time on that.
Okay.
So at this time, what I did is I when they give 5 minutes time to read the paper, I went through entire paper, just a quick overview. Then I started from SOM. Basically, I started from SOM, then structural analysis, then ecology, environment, then fluid mechanics. All these were solvable. Then at the end, last 1 hour was remaining. I came to RCC, building materials, those random questions. So there, I just pick and choose. I was not going through sequence. I was seeing, this I can answer. Then I solved this.
So really you focus initially wherever scoring chances are more. Correct.
And one more thing, sir. In last 2 years paper, in pre, especially in technical, there was a lot of calculation.
So how you tackled without a calculator?
The same analogy. I did a lot of tests. I practiced a lot. And I used to solve in test. I was able to solve 130, 135 questions. And there I was finally able to solve 120 because it was more calculative. The only thing is practice. And one suggestion that I want to give is for calculations. I used to remember square roots till 20, 30, then cube roots till 10. At least that helped me solve.
Yeah.
So these
square roots up to 30.
Yes.
Cube roots up to 10.
10, 20 like that.
This is also what I always used to say to my
students.
Sir,
one more strategy which I followed is I first before reading the question, I used to have a look at the options. Suppose the options are like 6, 7, 8, 9. Then I used to be very accurate in solving it. And suppose the options are like 70, 700, 7,000 and 70,000. Then I approximately solved it. Right. So that's my strategy for cracking the...
Perfect.
That's how I cracked the calculation part.
Okay. Coming to the mains, have you prepared for mains simultaneously with the prelims? Or started afresh after prelim exam?
That's a very important question for the aspirants, I feel. Because when I started preparing, first what I did is using the postal material, using the material that I had of the books, I first completely made the complete notes, solved every question, so that I have an overview of the entire examinations. What I feel is you don't need to prepare separately. When you start preparing, go through the entire syllabus once, every topic. You don't need to remember all the formula. Just go through, solve questions of all the topics, then start preparing for prelims. Suppose if you're starting in May or April, in 4 or 5 months, or suppose if you need more time, start in January. Till July, August, you can completely cover the syllabus, and then you start preparing for pre. Because many times what happens in pre, there are questions like mains. So you won't be able to crack. Little bit. Like in pre-stress concrete, they'll give a little bit big question, which is easy to solve, and if you have solved it earlier. So my strategy was to go through the syllabus completely. Then I started for pre, then test series, and then my micro notes when I started.
So last year you have dedicated your complete time for preparation. Sitting alone.
Right. Yes, sir.
So how many hours you used to prepare?
Sir, I believe I used to invest 8 to 9 hours daily.
8 to 9 hours effective time. After lunch break, other breaks.
Because once we are in flow, and one thing which I did for myself is I used to have every week plan. Like, this day I will do that, this day I will do that. So that gives me a vision, basically. Many times we plan like that, in 3 months I will complete the syllabus. But it's very haphazard. You have to plan small targets, like weekly targets. Then I used to take the test. So that based on the week study and the test, I was sure that this topic is prepared. So what I suggest aspirants is to go for the small targets.
So revision, short term
targets. Then you can have that big. You can have look at the big target. Because if we directly jump on saying that I will prepare for pre in 5 months, that is very random. So planning is very important.
Suppose in any test you got less marks, what were your emotions?
So the first thing that I thought is, this is not the final examination. So at least I'm saved. Now I need to understand the mistakes which I made.
Where you have committed mistake.
And I used to write it down in my short notes.
Excellent.
I used to write every mistake down, like some mistakes. Then I used to classify those mistakes because some mistakes were appearing again and again.
Yeah.
So that classification will help me remember in the exam. And it really helped me because in 2018, I made some mistakes in pre. And same mistakes I could have made in 2019, but I remembered every mistake. Most of the mistakes which I tried to remember. So that really helped me, I think.
So in mains, how many marks you got?
So in paper 1, I got 210. In paper 2, I got 240. So 424, that was total. I still felt that compared to last year's paper, this year's was little easy, not very easy. Little easier compared to last year, but the checking was little hard. Because the marks they have given less, what I felt.
Do you suggest future aspirants to focus on numerical questions or theoretical questions in the first attempt in mains paper?
Sir, if you see paper one, then it's mostly calculation. Like everything is analytical problem. So like structural or RCC or steel, there they mostly give the numerical problem. One positive with the numerical is that if you solve completely, you're going to get out of 20, 18 or 19 marks. 1 mark they can deduct. So that is one positive approach. But you can't leave out the subjectives. Because suppose if we are doubtful in one question, if you have to select, there are options, right? Out of 8, we only have to do 5. We have to select the 3 apart from the compulsory.
Correct.
So we also have to be well versed in the subjective. Suppose if you are doubtful in some, then the advantage of subjective is that you are at least going to get some marks.
Some minimum marks.
Some minimum marks if you write properly. So what I used to do while preparing is while I was solving the previous years, I read the question, then I wrote the answer myself. Then I used to see the solved paper, whether what content I'm remaining. That I used to mark using the red pen, so that next time I could remember.
Do you think that some questions will be repeated even in mains also?
Yes, sir, they do repeat. But from 2-3 years, my experience is that they have lessened this habit of giving the questions.
I think particularly in the building materials, there will be more repetition.
The building material definitely is there because the content is standard. We can say that concrete is there. So there is some repetition, but the advantage is that if you've solved previous years completely, then the question will be related. Of course, it's ultimate source I would say is previous and then the notebooks.
I think by doing so, you can save a lot of time because already prepared same question, similar question. You can save time.
Similar
question write with confidence.
At least we can write some elements from that answer into our answer so that we can get good marks. So that is
how you manage this question come answer booklet QCAB.
Sir, it's very important that for the past 3 years we are saving this QCAB. First, I used to have the look at the space that they have provided. Because last year I was stuck in one question where my space was over and I was looking for more to write. So there was nothing. I think
in the RCC design or retaining wall.
Yes, sir. Retaining wall because I didn't flip the paper. How much space they have given. So it's very important while you're writing tests to have a look at the space, how much they have
because provided. I too tried that problem. I was stuck up because it was taking too much space. What I suggest in such questions, better to avoid or directly write the formula and substitute. Because so many things he has.
So many things are over there.
Design of stem, heel side, toe side, everything he has.
Diagram we also have.
Everything. It is impossible to complete within the given space for anybody.
For paper 1, I would advise to select more questions from section 1 because they are little easier. If you
go to
section B, if you go to section B, then there are RCC in steel, which is design based and some
lengthy
also.
They are lengthy.
And we are also not sure whether everything would be correct. In suppose if we are solving in section A, we are sure that okay, structural problem is there, standard I can solve.
Some is there,
I can solve. Or some collapse problem is there moment, then we can solve. So there is some confidence. That's my advice. Better to select more questions from section A.
Section A. Okay, with respect to personal interview, what was your preparation?
Sir, first thing was the DAF is the Bible for you. Sometimes they won't ask any question from DAF, but if they ask, then it gives a very good feeling when you answer all the questions correctly from DAF.
Detailed
application form basically. So everything when you're filling the DAF, be truthful. Don't try or don't fake anything. Even if your hobby is very minuscule, very small, write it because that you can confidently answer. Sir, I don't think they test their technical knowledge. They test your approach, your truthfulness, your how confident you are. Or suppose you are given a random question or in the interview, then how do you tackle it? Whether you get scared or you are confident, you are calm and then answering. So my approach was first I filled the DAF properly. Everything when I was writing in the DAF or detailed application form, I mentioned everything correctly. Whatever my hobbies were there, and I searched about my hometown, my college, how it started, everything basic idea we should have at least. Because in my first interview, when the chairman was earlier the MPPSC chairman, so he remembered the place very correctly. So he started asking about historical monuments from my place, and then he went into civil engineering aspects of those monuments.
Monuments.
Yes, there's a relatable. They won't ask you random questions. Related to your
one should know without the basic knowledge of your place and other things, how can you become an engineer?
Yes, sir. So detailed application form they will ask. Then when they come to technical, my experience. So I just want to share my marks for the personality test. In the 2018, I got 140, which was the highest. And in this year also, I got 132, which is a very good score in personality test.
132 you got. Last time?
140. That was the highest that year.
Okay.
140.
130 is a good number.
132. Last year 140.
Very good.
So the approach is basically they would ask you. They asked practical questions. Like if you went on the field, there is a soil stability problem. How would you solve it? So they were trying to test my approach, and many questions I said no, which I didn't know. Basically,
So how many marks you got overall out of 1300?
So this year I got 842.
Excellent. 842. Wow.
842.
8 by 2, 4 by 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So personality test, I would advise aspirant to join the mock interview program, because basically it helps us eliminate our fears. It helps us how to maintain our posture, body language. That is must. And then we can have a look at the videos also, which of the mock interview. Those are very helpful. I would advise this.
How ESE helped you?
Yes, sir. So I took test series, and the best part is the challenging questions I could find.
Yeah.
There was some the entire content was very well phrased. I did write. Unfortunately, I couldn't go and write to the center, but I was writing the test series from home and analyzing everything.
Excellent.
So that really helped me. I still believe that the most important part of your preparation for cracking this exam is the test series, because that helps you analyze how well you are doing or where are the mistakes.
Time management, accuracy.
Time management, accuracy, everything. So
reading is one side of the coin. Listening is one side of the coin. But practice.
60 to 70% the credit is for the test series, because that helps me analyze everything. Okay. How I'm doing.
After completion of BTech, did you work anywhere?
Yes, sir. As I mentioned earlier, that I worked as an assistant operations manager in a real estate based startup in Bangalore. So it was a really good experience. There I was leading a team of 30 to 40 people. So there were a lot of things that I had to do basically. So I learned from there time management, then how to do if you have many things and a limited amount of time, how to crack that code. Then people involvement, how to deal with people basically. That is also an important aspect, because in engineering services, if we go at a higher level, then we have to deal with people only. Yeah, the work becomes more and more administrative. True. And less technical.
More and more, yes. The more you grow, the more administration.
So working there, it really helped me shape my personality in every aspect, like time management.
So how it helped you in your preparation for engineering services and personal interview?
Yes, sir. So first of all, I would like to talk about the personality test, because I had interacted with so many people on so many subjects, right, from economy to science and everything. I've interacted with people.
Everything.
Yes, because most of the people there were from very good background, so there was a mix of everything. So that really helped me in the personality interview, because I was very confident. Whatever I felt or whatever I have a view, I will express it confidently. I won't shy away or I won't be hesitant in discussing that. Plus, I'm very calm when I'm discussing things with people. So that really helped me in the personality test. And because some of the marks are reserved for how calm you are, how well you are listening. Even if you get something wrong, that is not an issue. Even if you say, sir, I don't know about this. I remember I said 4 or 5 times this time that I don't know, sir. So they were asking me about high-speed railways this time. They went into some technical aspects, which I haven't studied. So I confidently said, sir, I didn't know. So nothing wrong. And they don't cut marks for that. They just test how
they test your honesty. That's right.
And in mains preparation, particularly, that job helped me in my time management and planning also. And sometimes when we are losing little hope, when you are getting less marks, so that is a stress management.
Stress management.
Correct. That's a very important part of the preparation. Suppose if we get demotivated, then we have to look for far beyond, and we have to look for the motivation. So I think that really helped me at my job.
Okay, now what are your future plans?
So right now I am planning to join Indian Railways, and there I would like to have some work experience. Then I haven't planned after that, but I'm hoping that let's see how things turn out. If some good opportunities come, then I will look forward to it.
Have your own company,
right? Because
no, I wish for my students.
That's why, sir, we always have to keep our opportunities open for everything.
Companies like L&T and whatnot. Anything. Nothing is impossible for a willing heart.
Correct.
Okay. Generally, the cream of India, like you say, what our former president, Sri late Dr. Abdul Kalam sir. So people like you, students like you, today you may be an employee, but tomorrow you should become an employer.
I think that is the need of the hour.
That is the need of the country.
Right.
See, because with your vast knowledge, if you can start your own empire where you can give employment to hundreds and thousands, nothing is impossible. Okay. So very good, very good. So, but gain experience. Try to understand each and every aspect of a place where you are working. How to handle the persons, how to be honest towards the people, how honest towards the work, everything. So everything counts. There you learn a lot. Salary is one side of the coin, but you will earn a lot with respect to personality.
Yes.
So that's very good, Mr. Abuzar.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, what is your message to your juniors who are preparing for IS 2020?
First of all, I think the preliminary examination is already around the corner. So this is the time for revision. You have already made a lot of notes. Just stick to your notes and trust yourself. Whatever you have read till now, just go through it once again. Solve the questions. Have a look at the previous year's papers of especially of 2018 and 19, and whatever test series you are writing. Be very truthful and analyze your mistakes. And this exam is not impossible. Just that it requires careful dedication, and most of the journey you have already traversed, because it's already only 1 month is remaining for preliminary examination. So work hard and success is waiting for you. I hope all of you do well, and my best wishes are with all the aspirants who are preparing and who are going to write this year's engineering services as well as gate examination.
Okay, Mr. Abuzar Gaffari, your age is not half of me.
Yes, sir.
But still, I learned a lot from you. So
I think that's a great compliment for me. Thank
so
you, sir.
I'm very happy to see a gem like you in India. And at the same time, my pranams to your parents. See, in this world, we are because of those parents. So, really convey my regards, pranams to your parents. Because of such parents only, India and Indian development will be there.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes,
Right? So, on behalf of his family, I once again congratulate you. Thank you.
sir.
All the
I will
best.
convey
Right?
best regards to my parents. Thank
God
you, sir.
bless you. God bless you.